Believe it or not, this is already the last Div Cup of the season, and we got to see so many different incredible things today, including MrSavage's trio looking better than ever. Fortnite has successfully sued a cheater for over $100,000 and so much more. We're going to see who starts though. Please subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, as we are so close to 110,000 subscribers. So if you want to help me reach that goal, please just hit that sub button and turn on notifications. If you guys want to support me even more, the best way to do so is by using code KDOG in the Fortnite item shop. Follow me on my Twitch, link in the description down below, because we are going to be streaming the Div Cup finals on Saturday. So if you guys want to check it out with me, just make sure you guys go drop a follow. Without further ado though, let's talk about the cheater that has just been successfully sued. So this original tweet was from December 18th of 2024, and they said, update, this week we filed a lawsuit against a player who cheated in our tournaments. This player used cheating software and hardware and tried to avoid getting caught by using multiple accounts. It didn't work. Cheating has no place in Fortnite, and we're doing everything we can to stop it, including legal action. So this guy was not even a cheat seller or nothing. This was just straight up somebody who used cheats in a tournament. And then today we got an update tweet from them, and they said, this just in, the judge ruled in our favor after the cheater ignored our lawsuit. This player is now required to pay $175,000 and will donate what we collect to charity. They are also banned from playing Fortnite forever. So first off, huge shout out to Epic Games here. This is such a major W for them. I feel like the cheating issue definitely hasn't been as bad as it was even just like 6 months ago. But a player who was literally just caught for using cheats in Fortnite decided to not even show up for his court date or nothing like that, tried to just completely ignore it and act like nothing happened, has now successfully been sued for $175,000. I hope this does start to make players who are both selling cheats and using cheats that Fortnite and Epic Games does not play around with this sort of stuff, and you are going to get banned if you decide to use this, and even sued potentially as well. I wonder if this maybe has the potential to lead to solo cash cups coming back, because I think one of the main reasons why solos ended up getting removed was just because of the cheating problem in solos. I think that's another reason why we can't really tell if the cheating issue is as bad as it used to be, just because we haven't had solo cash cups in a while now. But this is just such a positive step in the right direction. Let's actually move on to how the Div Cup opens went now though. Now in first place of the Div Cup opens is the brand new trio, or I mean not technically, but technically kind of yes. This is their second week together of Muzz, Shadow, and Sphinx. They finished with 501 points, won 1 out of their 7 matches, and got the 4th most elims with 115. These guys have looked so great as a trio ever since they have formed together. Their chemistry on those low and mid ground layers looks like they can compete fragging wise with almost anybody else on the region. They're coming off of a very respectable 6th place in the last Div Cup, so I am very excited to see how they're actually going to place this week. Speaking of a team that had a good Div Cup in week 1, the trio in 2nd place was the actual winners of that tournament of Rapid, Kanata, and Bolts. They finished with 479 points, won 3 out of their 10 matches, and got the 2nd most elims with 124. This trio continues to look super good. They had a span of 3 games in this tournament where they got 22 elims, 33 elims, and 38 elims. They've already shown that they can win a Div Cup, and I'm curious in this upcoming week, can they show us if they can actually win FNCS or not. 3rd place is our first LAN team on this list of Reed, Cooper, and Curly. They finished with 470 points, won 2 out of their 9 matches, 113 elims. Still a trio that is just honestly a consistent top 3 to 5 trio on the region. They continue to look so good. 4th place was Neko, Fishy, and Zabi on 455. 5th place was Clix, Yamzo, and Higgs on 453. I think this is honestly a must-win week for Clix, Yamzo, and Higgs. They are pretty much the consensus FNCS favorites for this season, and there is no way that we can say that there is no doubt in our minds that Clix is going to win this FNCS if he doesn't even win a single Div Cup with the best POI on the map, completely uncontested. So the pressure is on for Clix this week, and I do think that they're going to be able to rise up to it and perform their best. 6th place is Cube, and then in 7th place is a trio that had an insane comeback today of Agers, Acorn, and Poyo. This trio ended up streaming their tournament, and they got 36 points in the first 6 matches. They ended up ending their stream and they finished with 432 points in 10 total games. Their match history from game 7 to game 10 was a 17 elimination win, 9 elimination second, 33 elimination win, and a 24 elimination third. I'm not gonna lie, I had a lot of things in my notes about how disappointed I was in this trio today and how I really haven't been super impressed with them really at all this season. And then they just completely blew that all out of the water, absolutely locked in, and they showed why they can still be one of the best teams on the region. It does honestly still suck that they're most likely going to be conned in finals, but at least we will get another week of Peterbot versus Poyo off spawn once again. If you're wondering how the off spawn situation went today, it is pretty hard to track. Some people are saying like 2-0 for Peter, some are saying 2-1, but I think Peter definitely did look like the better team off spawn today. 8th place was Baka Pars and Pump, another land qual team. 9th place, speaking of Peterbot, is Peterbot Code and Ritual. They finished with 428 points. Got the most elims in day 1 of opens with 136. A lot better of a day 1 for these guys this week compared to how they were last week when they were in like 70th place after day 1. And then rounding out the top 10 was Noisy. We did have some other names just outside that top 10, like 14th place of Phaser, PH Zen, and King on 400 points. This trio is finally officially in Div 1 on NA. If they're able to make it into finals, this is going to be the real start for not just their practice, but whether or not we actually think they can be a top 10 team in grand finals on NA. It's looking like hopefully they will be able to get an uncontested Lone Wolf Lair in finals as well currently. So I am very excited for this trio this week. We have another brand new trio in 18th place of Skittles, Joji, and Bryce X. Booga Threats and Craze in 22nd. And then if you missed it, yes, Rise has another brand new trio. He ended up dropping Virgo to now play with Aviv. Now you do kind of have to feel bad for Virgo. It seems like he's getting dropped almost every single week at this point, but I guess Rise and G Bunny just felt like they have a better chance of qualifying for LAN with Aviv instead of Virgo, so they had to make the business decision to drop him. And after day 1, they are currently in 23rd place with 365 points. Violet and Pen and Zen are in 27th, and that is about it for all of the big names currently inside of the top 33. We only have a couple of big names that are currently outside that top 33, like 36th place of Dukes, Edgy, and Chance, Virgo's new trio for probably just this week, in 51st place of Bucky, Okus, and Virgo. This trio, like many other trios, ended up leaving this tournament early so they could go play West because Bucky to help Miro get into Div 1 on West, but they're still going to need a pretty decent day 2 if they want to make the finals together. And then we have like another LAN team in 94th place of Visual Sprays and Diminished, also not being able to qualify. This is now the recent Eval Cup and potentially Cash Cup that Visuals, Braids, and Diminished have not been able to qualify for. Let's actually move on to how EU went now. Now in EU, it looks like they might be back. The trio of Chap, MrSavage, and Rezon absolutely dominated day 1 of opens. This team was able to finish with 503 points, win 3 out of their 9 matches, and get the most amount of elims in all of day 1 with 121 elims. This team started off this tournament so hot, getting a 25 elimination win, 15 elimination 7th, 27 elimination win, 28 elimination win. They legit looked like they were on pace to be able to qualify for finals in just 1 day. And then after that, they did kind of slow down, but you could tell they were just not really as locked in as they were at the beginning of the tournament, where they were playing like max confidence, literally winning every single fight, looking like one of the best fighting teams on the entire region. I think this is the potential that we have been looking for out of this trio for so long now. They literally had like 20 plus elims before end games even started most of the times in their first couple of matches. I just need to start seeing some more consistency from them in actual set lobby finals tournaments. It's looking like it's going to be a little bit difficult for them in yet another set lobby finals, because currently the team in 16th place of Focus, Mixin, and Uppel is actually the trio that still lands at the resistance space, and this is looking like the POI that Savage is going to be going to for finals lobbies moving forwards now. So we're probably going to have another week of Savage contested in the finals, so I hope they are grinding off spawns right now and they can even potentially alpha up this POI. Second place is another trio that's trying to qual for LAN of Sky Scroll and Thomas HD. They finished with 468 points, won 3 out of their 8 matches, and got 84 total elims as well. This week for me is going to be a big determining factor on how many of these brand new EU teams am I actually going to be predicting to be able to qualify for LAN. I feel like a lot of us are just talking about how there's only 2 LAN spots on NA, and some really big name teams are going to get snubbed over there, but there is only 4 spots on EU, and especially after the recent split up of Cammy and Seti, there is so many good EU players that are not going to be at this year's LAN event. A trio though that continues to keep my confidence up is 3rd place of Pink, Nebs, and Kiro. They finished on 462 points, got 88 total elims, and won 1 of their 8 matches. If I were making my predictions today, this would still be a team that I have on that list. 4th place I think is one of my favorite brand new trios though of Seti, Yapko, and Panzer. Now these guys honestly have genuinely looked very good since they formed together. They've already won an Eval Cup game, tied for the most elims in that Eval Cup, and after day 1 of opens are in 4th place with 450 points, winning 2 out of their 10 matches and getting 79 total elims. I am so happy for Seti that he was just able to find a trio of this caliber this fast. I feel like a lot of people thought Seti was going to be the one that gets screwed out of a lot of his options, but he has been fitting with Yapko and Panzer like a glove so far, and they have looked so good. 5th place is the reigning defending FNCS champions of Venya, Pixie, and Marius. They won 3 out of their 9 matches and got 448 points. Super confident in this trio's abilities as well. 6th place is going to be the wild card team of the season for me of Chino, Pablo, and Ferdoxy. They should still have an uncontested Supernova Academy unless MrSavage for some reason changes his mind and decides to go back to Supernova, but I don't think he will. This is a team that's shown they can almost win an FNCS last season, and this is a trio that has real winning potential this season once again. 7th place, I am so happy to also see this team this high. It is Pigstorm and Demas. They have been having a rough season to say the least, and they need to get some things going here to really get our confidence up in them going into FNCS. 8th place is Convict Shark and Blaha, another brand new trio. 9th place is Queasy, Murstache, and Sato. So it's looking like as of right now, we will be getting to see Queasy and Murstache both play together in the set lobby finals this week. I know a lot of you guys are still confused on where Swizzy is at, and Swizzy is currently trying to get approved for his visa, and this is actually a thing that seems like it is taking a lot longer than they thought, but he should still hopefully be back in time for FNCS. I also heard that Malibuca still needs to get his visa as well, so I'm not 100% sure when he is going to be trying to get that. And then rounding out the top 10 is another very underrated trio on EU that is also trying to qualify for LAN of Dexy, Eclipse, and Twy. Some other big names we have just outside that top 10 is like 14th place of Vidil, Cringe, and Volko. The team that I talked about earlier of Focus, Mixin, and Uppel in 16th. Pingwalks and Malibuca in 20th. The other brand new trio of Eyedrop, Hari, and Cammy in 22nd. Now, just like I said in the Eval Cup for this team, this is nowhere near a fraggy type of team. They only finished with 52 total elims, but this team should be consistency kings, especially in a set lobby finals, and I just cannot wait to see Seti and Cammy's brand new trio in this week's finals, hopefully. And that is pretty much it for all of the big names currently inside of that top 33. So some teams that are just outside that is like Vico, Vino, and Flixie in 34th. This is a very similar situation to what they were actually in last week, and they absolutely popped off on day 2, so I really have no worries about this team at all being able to qualify. They finished with 314 points, won 2 out of their 10 matches, got 71 total elims. Their whole game plan is either go big or go home, get a lot of elims, or just die mid-game fighting. Not really worried about them at all though. Unfortunately though, for some teams that are going to need a very big day 2, we have trios like in 122nd place of Mongrel, Kaido, and Haijo. They currently only have 203 points in 10 total matches and only got 37 total elims as well. Now, I'm not 100% sure what was actually going wrong with this team today. They were kind of struggling off spawn. They also didn't look anywhere near as good in their end games today as they did in like even the Eval Cup yesterday, or even like last week as well. This is not the normal performance that these guys have been showing ever since they formed as a trio, and it's even probably their worst performance ever since they formed together. They're going to need around 650 points to be able to qualify for the finals, so they are going to need to have a 447 point day tomorrow if they want to be able to make it into the finals. And then another trio that I did not expect to be this low on the leaderboard is just one spot under them in the exact same amount of points of Chris, Tayson, and Chicho. These guys ended up getting less elims than Mongrel's team with 32 total elims. They had 3 games inside of the top 5, but they literally had 4 separate games where they got 0 total elims in it. Not really sure why this team underperformed so hardly today also, but they are also going to need a very big day 2. Oh yeah, I almost completely forgot to mention this about MrSavage's trio, but in the opens, they pretty much landed Supernova Academy the whole time just because it is in opens and they want to be trying to get as many elims as possible. So I'm not 100% sure how good they're actually going to look off spawn at the resistance base, but I am very excited for this off spawn fight. Other than that though, remember, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, as we are so close to 110,000 subscribers. If you guys want to support me even more, the best way to do so is by using code KDOG in the Fortnite item shop. YouTube says don't enjoy winning some videos up on the screen right now, so go check them out if you guys haven't already. Follow me on my Twitter and my Twitch, link in the description down below, because we should be streaming the final Div Cup of the season on Saturday. Thank God for another day, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.